And welcome back. Well, buying a home and selling a home is stressful. So how can you take some of that pressure off your shoulders? Well, it helps if you have a team that you can get good advice from and who can even be your eyes and ears as well. Our next guest says his team is full service through the entire process.
And that's exactly what you want. Greg Goldman and Alex Siegel are brokers with the Goldman Group of RE. Nice to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
This is a great topic. As people are driving around, this is the season you're seeing all those signs pop up in everybody's yard. Right? This is big time for you guys.
It is and it isn't, because right now inventory, the housing stock is so low. It's tough to be a buyer right now. It really is, because there's just not a lot to choose from out there.
You have more buyers than people wanting to sell their home, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
Why is that? Is it that people didn't think it was a good time to sell, or they're just hanging on to their homes right now?
Well, last year we realized once the market eased up, people became a little more comfortable and lending started to get a little easier for buyers. There was a big surge in buying. And this spring, it started up even faster and earlier than we thought. So supply and demand, we're seeing in some areas, in some neighborhoods, and in some price ranges, where the amount of homes that are available versus the people who qualify to buy those homes is just not great enough to satisfy the demand.
Let's break it down, buyers and sellers, and start with buyers first. What should they be doing?
Right now, the most important thing is to be quick, okay? There's a lot of competition out there, really, and when the stock is low, it's just like it's any other supply and demand. There's going to be competition, okay? So you got to be ready to pounce, which means first thing, talk to a lender, get a pre-approval letter. It's like going shopping. Where do you guys like to shop? What's your favorite store?
Oh gosh,
Nordstrom.
Can you even narrow it down? Yeah.
Okay, so Nordstrom. You know, you got to know what's in your pocket to spend, right? Same thing with buying a house. You got to know what your budget is. And if you have this letter, this pre-approval letter, you're going to know exactly what your budget is. And at the same time, if you want to be able to jump on a house, a seller's not going to take you seriously without this letter, because it's a proof that you can actually buy this house.
Great point. It doesn't take that much, really, to be pre-approved.
No, it'll take a few days, really. And if you don't know a lender, we'd be more than happy to recommend someone to talk to. They can streamline it right away. So that way, if you find the house that you love, if you walk in and you say, this is it, if you have
ready to go.
If you have to wait 2 days, right now in this market, that's the difference between getting the house and not getting the house.
That's what happened to her brother recently.
Absolutely.
They had to find it. He didn't even come and look at the house. They had to do it for him.
It's a great story, though. I mean, he lives in California. He lost 2 houses for that reason in particular, not jumping on it. So the last house, it was open up. I went to it. I said, make an offer. He hadn't seen it. He looked at a few pictures, did it, and it got
had to take her word for
I
it.
called him on the phone. I go,
true.
hope you like it.
So you should probably join our team, because that's great advice. That's great advice. So,
There's no charge for that. Most lenders will do that for free for you.
The pre-approval.
Because they want your business.
Important. So that's what a buyer should do. How about a seller? What's something a seller can do to prepare and be better?
An important thing for a seller to remember is that they don't always see their house the way that someone coming in to buy it will see it. So it's important to get a second opinion or third opinion. We prefer to be able to have the opportunity to walk through a house, and maybe you take my opinion, take his opinion, get a couple of agents' opinions. And they may tell you to do things like have that rummage sale. You've always dreamed of having it.
Get rid of stuff.
Have it now, because if you look at magazines, if you look at the presentations of homes that are being offered for sale, they're sparse, they're clean, they're sharp. All those repairs you've been putting off, talk to an agent and say, should I be painting this? Should I be replacing that? And get third-party opinions.
Staging is such a big thing these days. Can you guys help people who really need some help? I mean, they've maybe lived in their house for a long time, or they've got a lot of old stuff, or it's kind of cluttered. Can you help hook people up with someone who could stage their home to look like a magazine?
We can. And one of the things you want to start with is depersonalizing. By depersonalizing, I mean you want to take all of those family pictures off the wall, because you want the home to look like a magazine and not like your home. And I know it's very hard for most people. It would be difficult for me when my time comes to sell my house.
I get that, though.
But that's really important. And staging is removing some furniture, trying to remember that the way you live in your house is not necessarily the way someone walking in off the street for the first time will perceive it. Professional agents get into several hundred houses a year, and they're always working with buyers and sellers, so they know what the buyers are looking for and what's going on in their heads.
Okay, there's a question I really want to ask you, because there are a lot of people who want to sell their house on their own. They want to save that commission fee. What's your advice? What are your thoughts on that in particular?
It's a good thing to try if you really have great confidence in your ability to negotiate, if you have confidence in your ability to understand contracts. The advantage of working with a professional realtor is we will market you to a huge audience. If you try to sell it yourself and you're just on Craigslist, or maybe you'll just get a little MLS ad through a discount broker, it's great if you get lucky, but we're able to reach a much larger universe of people. We go up into multiple websites, not only through our corporate affiliation with RE/MAX, but also through the multiple listing service. We also help you stage it. We'll walk through it with you. We can bring other people from our office through and other agents through to help you get an idea. We coordinate the showings. We handle the negotiating. We set up the title work. We do all of the back office things that the average person would have to either attempt to do themselves, or I'd strongly recommend they hire counsel, hire an attorney.
Well, and you get that whole network that you mentioned. I mean, you just have to admit you don't have that kind of network or access on your own. So, I mean, those sort of things I think are worth it. I mean, there'd be no question in my mind. I know you guys have this great special offer right now that I want to let people know about so they can learn a little bit more about what you do. But right now, if you do call to list your house and you mention the Morning Blend, you can get $1,500 off your total commission. Check that out.
$1,500.
Yeah.
You could buy a great sofa and a chair for that.
And paint the next wall.
And go to Nordstrom.
Yes, exactly. There's the phone number to call. Here, it'll be up on the next one as well, so you can contact the Goldman Group Real Estate. They are 414-431-3845, or you can email them directly at ggoldman, that's for Greg, at remax.net. We don't care about Alex.
No, we don't. No one does. No one does, and I'm used to that by now.
Thanks so much, you guys. There's really good information, very timely, too.
And next week, we'd love to talk about Trulia and Zillow.
Oh, yeah,
Great.
the apps,
Yep,
right?
Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll be there.
Perfect.
Okay, it's Trulia and Zillow. I'm familiar with Zillow. That'll be interesting.
People know Trulia and Zillow.
All right.
And
Okay,
we'll be.
They'll
sounds
fill us
good.
in.
All right.
Thanks,
We'll see
you guys
again soon.